Christine Keller. Christine, tell Long Island about your program and what your thoughts are about the show so far.
Well, I love the show. The show's been going very, very well for a long time now. I was here once before, and I thank you for having me back.
You're welcome.
Well, I have an organization called the Children's Sangha, and I originally developed and taught a series of multi-sensory character education classes for young children, 5 through 12. The program facilitated different learning styles and abilities, and provided opportunities for outdoor experiential learning. Subsequently, I've developed a program called Project Stewardship for young adults that has a variety of components, including volunteer and internship placements, opportunities to build skills in leadership and peer mentoring. We have monthly video civics meetings where we show topics along the lines of the philosophy that we're looking to help young adults understand, which I'll explain in a few minutes. And then we have social outings and events, and including experiences like this where we bring young adults to gain exposure in different fields. They could be college students who have a major in a certain area, but they could also be middle and high school students who, through exposure to experiences like coming to this radio program, can learn about things they might be interested in doing in the future.
So you spent a lot of work working within the community. I know that you were a professor at SUNY Westbury, so tell us the passion behind doing community work and where do you see the need for that in the future?
Sure. Well, at SUNY Westbury, I teach world religions, and I also have taught foundations of special education. In terms of working with the community, I guess the world religions course that I've been teaching over the last 14 years definitely has helped to inspire me, because when you learn from indigenous people around the world how working together as a community is valued, you want to bring those ideas into our culture today.
Christine?
Yeah, this is Dr. Gabe Felmar. He's got a few questions for you. Go ahead,
Sure.
Go ahead, Dr. Gabe.
It's wonderful seeing you here. By the way, I'm also a professor at SUNY Old Westbury. But before I say anything, I must say that I have tremendous respect for this show. And tremendous respect for this gentleman who sits next to me, whose name is Steve Vaccaro.
Yes.
Thank
you, sir.
He's a community-minded man, very giving of himself, great heart, and spends a lot of energy on this program, which I think is extremely important for the community, and it's a very respectable thing to do.
So right after the show, I'm taking you out to dinner, buddy.
Well,
All right.
I have a big steak for you.
Oh, okay. Then you're paying then.
That's right.
Okay.
I also want to say just very quickly, today is Yom Kippur, and I had to make a decision whether to go to synagogue or to come here. So,
Wow.
I went to synagogue last night. I repented for some of my sins, and instead of going there today, I came here, figuring that what I do here in this show together with Steve is something that God would view as a very favorable thing to do. And hopefully some of my sins will be forgiven as a result of this, hopefully.
Well, I hope your rabbi is not listening here right now.
I hope so too. Anyway, I read about your program, and to be honest with you, I wasn't familiar with the word Sangha, so I did a little research, and I understand that it has to do something with community and company, and it originally it had to do with the Buddhist community, if I understand it correctly. And the word came from the Sanskrit, which is the primarily liturgical language of Hinduism.
Yes.
I did a little time researching this. And also there is something said about multiple causes and dependent origination. And, Buddha was called the enlightened teacher. So all these things have a lot to do with your program. Eco-psychology, which has to do with interdependence,
Right.
nature and man. And interdependence actually has very practical implications to our society as well, because we are all interdependent if we really think about it.
Exactly.
Right? So if you and I as a teacher get sick, we have to go to a doctor. And if the doctor wants to educate his children, he may have to come to us.
Mhm.
So that's just one example. And if we need community help and community view,
Right.
we go to Steve Vaquero.
But we're all basically interconnected in the web of life.
Exactly.
And it's so important to value every member of the Earth community, because we all have different strengths, weaknesses, and we really need to be there to support one another.
And I like that because the work that I do through chapters and the chapters wrap, the key word for me, my little slogan is where unity and diversity meet one chapter at a time. And I see the word diversity all over your brochure.
Yes.
And I know your philosophy. Tell Long Island why that diversity is so important.